Well, welcome to Epcot and welcome to the very last part of my pin trading 101 series where I am teaching you guys everything you need to know about pin trading in every single park. This is the very last park and we have been to now all 4 of them, and I have shown you guys where every single board is, where to find them, where cast members have a tendency to be with pin trading pads and lanyards, the whole 9 yards, so that you are prepared when you come to any of the parks. But today we're going to be talking about Epcot, and you are ready to pin trade. So let's go pin trading around Epcot. And here are some of the pins we are starting out with for the day. So here under Spaceship Earth, you have 2 pin trading locations. You have Pin Traders, also known as the Camera Center, that might get renamed eventually. And then we also have Gateway Gifts. It's 2 gift shops right here underneath of Spaceship Earth. Now, Pin Traders used to be the place where all of the pin trading stuff was. This is where you would get mystery boxes. You would find all the open carded pins. They have moved a lot of that recently, and you are also now no longer allowed to trade here under Spaceship Earth due to safety concerns. So they've moved a lot of the pin trading stuff to the center of Epcot, which I'll show you guys, and then also at the entrance to the World Showcase. Still will find a board right now, and there are some mystery boxes in there. So we're gonna go in there and I will show you guys. But I have a strong feeling that maybe one day they will rename this store. You will find the pin board as you come in through the gift shop. It's going to be on the left-hand side, usually on this little table. Used to sell a lot of pin trading stuff in here, but not so much anymore. They have a very small selection. Added a lot of bags and accessories and other things to this store. This used to be an entire wall of pins. Well, I forgot to film the board before I did the trade, but on that board we found this fill pin, and it is Loungefly. Next stop is going to be here at Gateway Gifts, and you will usually find the board at either one of their merchandising locations where you would check out. Next stop is going to be Guest Relations. This is going to be on the left-hand side of Spaceship Earth. They usually have a pin board. They will be honest, I never find anything on it. Now we're going to head towards Connections Cafe and Eatery. We're gonna head this way and go towards Mission Space and the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. Now we're gonna head out of Connections Eatery. We just cut through there. You're gonna see these hedge bushes right there that are kind of like really tall and oddly shaped, and you're gonna walk straight towards Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, because we're gonna go to their gift shop. We're gonna go around the side of the building where you would exit from the ride and head into Treasures of Xandar, which is their gift shop. And this is one of the few gift shops that actually, when you get off the ride, it does not exit into here.
Back up from these.
Very similar to most of the boards that are in gift shops. You are going to find that board back at the checkout stand. So where the cash wrap is, that is where you are going to find that board. Now, sometimes it is at the mobile checkout station, which is just right at the entrance. They kind of move it back and forth. And there will also be cast members in there. So be on the lookout, check and see if they have any pin trading pads or lanyards. So I just walked from Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, and we're making one big turn over here to Mission Space. Now, you can ride the ride to see this pin board. I can't stand this ride, so we will not be riding it, but we are just going to head right over to the left of the entrance towards their gift shop. You'll see this sign and you'll know you're in the right place. This is Mission Space Cargo Bag. Very similar to other boards. This is back here at the cash register. It'll be back here where you see this mural. Now here across from Connections Eatery, you will find a guest experience team. Very similar to all of the other parks, most of the guest experience teams will have pins. Over here at Club Cool, you'll also sometimes find people pin trading. Thank you. Now that's a little bit more recent. They have a little plushy polar bear, which is like the mascot for Coca-Cola in there, and it has a pin trading lanyard on it. Now, most of the times when I go in there, it's full of fakes, but I still think it's really fun and it's really cute, like the one and Hollywood Studios for the Brown Derby. The bowler hat, I think that's so fun, even though it is full of fakes. Next stop is going to be Creation Shop. There is not a pin board in here, but you're gonna find a lot of cast members with pin trading pads and lanyards. So I forgot to show you guys, but in Treasures of Xandar, I traded with a guest actually who watches the videos, and we traded for this pin from Hunchback. It's so cute. I gotta get more Hunchback pins. Well, I haven't even made it through the entirety of Creation Shop, and we've already traded with a cast member for this Tigger Duck and this Dory 25th anniversary pin. Now I'm filming this video as of June 1st, 2025, and Test Track is in the middle of its reimagination into Test Track 3.0. L that will be opening later this year. Now, when those walls come down, it is entirely possible that we will see a pin board in their gift shop. Now our next stop for pins is going to be here in the center of Spaceship Earth. And if you are looking at Spaceship Earth, you are going to head to your right-hand side to these little market booths over here. They have moved a lot of the pin trading stuff and boards over here. Both of them have a board, and sometimes people hang out over here when it's not too hot and pin trade. Nothing on that board, let's head over to this one. You're also gonna find a bunch of pins over here. We've got booster sets, lanyard sets, open edition. There were mystery bags and boxes at the other one. Now we're gonna head away from those booths, away from Creation Shop and towards Communicore Hall. There's not always a board in here, but we're gonna take a look and see. Now, depending on the time of the year and what festival and what event is going on in Communicore Hall really depends on if there's going to be a board inside. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. Like for Flower and Garden, there wasn't. I have not been in here since a Gooftastic summer started, so let's go check. I took a look and there's no pin board in there right now for a Gooftastic summer, which is part of the Cool Kids Summer celebration that is going on here in Walt Disney World. But it's always worth taking a look when there are different celebrations going on, because usually if there's a merchandise stand in there, when they're selling merch at some of the festivals, there's usually a pin board, and you never know, you might find a cast member in there who also has pin trading pads or lanyards. But if you are coming here this summer, this is just a side note, go to that dance party. That is so cute, and it's such a good place to cool down. Goofy's in there literally dancing to Justin Bieber and the Cheetah Girls. It was glorious. Also, directly across from Communicore Hall, there's a little merchandise stand here, and usually back where you check out, there's a pin board. Now we're gonna head over to the other side of Epcot before we go back to the World Showcase, and we are going to head towards the Seas Pavilion. Now, one important thing to note is they've been doing construction on the Seas Pavilion for months now. I feel like it's been at least 6 months, and the Seas Pavilion, both the Coral Reef and the ride and the gift shop all close at 7 p.m. every night now, which means their pin boards go away with it. So that's something to keep in mind if you're coming over here to pin trade. And honestly, we don't know when that's going to end. It could be permanent. Part of the reason why they have to do this is because the fish are on a certain timer. They have so much daylight and it has to be at certain times. So they have to do the construction early instead of in the middle of the night when they would normally do things when guests aren't here. They have to do it early to help deal with the fish's schedule. Now we're back here at the Seas, and we are actually going to head to the right towards the Coral Reef Restaurant. The Coral Reef Restaurant is just right across from Journey of Water, inspired by Moana. It's just right over here. It's tucked away. Sometimes there will be a hostess outside, sometimes not. I notice when it's hot, they don't put hostess out here, probably because they don't want them in the direct sun. But you can go inside, go up to the host stand, and ask for their pin board. Nothing on that board, so we are going to head back towards the ride, and we're actually going to go to their gift shop. You can ride the ride. The ride will empty into the gift shop, but I don't feel like riding today, so we are just going to head straight back to the gift shop, and I'll show you guys how to get there. Here is the Seas with Nemo and friends. Right there is where the Lightning Lane entrance and the standby entrance is. So if you don't feel like riding, you're just gonna keep walking straight, and you're gonna walk back towards this entrance. We're gonna head in through these bubbly glass sliding doors. I appreciate it. Also in here, there is a portable charger. Right across from the Land Pavilion, there is another guest experience team.
Go for it.
A lot of times the guest experience teams have fakes on their board, but every now and again you find a good one. We found this Peter Pan kite pin, and it's from 2022. Now there is no official board in the Land Pavilion, but you will find a lot of cast members with pin trading pads and lanyards if you look around while you're in here. Sometimes here at Garden Grill at the hostess stand, some of the cast members will have pin trading pads and lanyards, and I actually see one out today. Soarin' is also another really good place to check. A lot of times the cast member that stands at the entrance for the ride has a pin, pad, or lanyard, and I have found 25 years of pin trading hidden Mickeys there before. Important to remember though that those are not permanent locations. It's just places I have seen cast members, so you might be on the lookout while you're in the Land Pavilion. Pretty much the Land Pavilion, keep your head on a swivel. You might find janitorial cast members. You might find different cast members who are part of leadership. You never know who you might find walking through the Land Pavilion and if they have pins or not, but there is no actual permanent Mickey board, nothing like that in this pavilion, but you still might find pins when you come in here. Now our next stop is going to be here at the Imagination Pavilion. This is where you're going to find Figment and find Journey into Imagination with Figment. Now, you can ride the ride to find the board here. It's going to dump right into the gift shop. Sometimes I don't ride the ride because the wait time's kind of long or I just don't have time. So we're going to head over here to the left towards the Disney and Pixar Short Film Festival. And there's a little entrance over here where you can just go straight back to the gift shop and you don't have to ride the ride. This is also where you can go to meet Figment. So you'll see this little sign and we're going to head back here to ImageWorks.
Thanks.
Good. We're going to head to World Showcase next, but before we head back there, on the bridge as you head straight back into World Showcase, there are two little merchandise stands. Now, a lot of times this is merch for the festivals, but as you can see over here, since Flower and Garden's about to end, they have switched over to like just sandals and flip-flops and hats and that kind of stuff. But a lot of times there are cast members with pin trading pads and lanyards at those locations. We've made it to the divide. You can either go this way towards Mexico or this way towards Canada, but you will see there's a big building right there and there is a big building right there, and both of those shops have boards inside. Now, we're going to head towards Mexico today because it is the end of Flower and Garden and I actually want to get some dinner while we film this. But we're going to head towards Disney Traders, and this is where they have moved a lot of the pins and a lot of the pin trading stuff. Let's head into Disney Traders. On that board, we found this Rapunzel pin. It's actually from this lanyard starter set. You're gonna find all of the pin trading accessories as well as all kinds of pins in here. You're gonna find mystery bags and boxes here. You'll also find limited edition pins back here as well as the Tuesday drops. They'll be back here. Now, just like a lot of the other gift shops, you are going to find the board at the merchandise checkout. Now, there are two of them, so you may have to check both, and one of them might actually have a cast member with a pin trading pad or lanyard. But this is the store if you were here on Tuesday and you want to rope drop and try to get one of the pin drops, this is where it's going to be. It's no longer in Pin Traders up front in front of Spaceship Earth. Now we're going to continue on towards Mexico because there is going to be a board in every single country in the World Showcase. Board in every single country in the World Showcase, which is something that makes Epcot very unique. They actually, I would say, probably have the most boards out of any of the parks off the top of my head without counting. They probably have the most, but the unfortunate part about it is that usually the World Showcase, those boards are just littered with fake scrapper pins. That is kind of like my least favorite thing about Epcot is they have probably the most amount of boards, but more than half of the boards are kind of duds. But every now and again, I do find something good in the World Showcase, so it's still worth looking. Just know that you probably aren't going to find too much, especially in China, which we'll talk about when we get there. Now, as you make your way to Mexico, you will walk past this white building. This is called the Odyssey Pavilion. It does not have a pin board in it, but sometimes you will find cast members in here with pin trading pads and lanyards. I usually take a quick look, but I'm not going to today because we're going to head towards Mexico. But just know there's no board in here, unfortunately. I don't know why. How to find the Mexico Pavilion board, we have to go inside, and you're going to go inside this big, huge building here. This is also where you will ride the Grand Fiesta Tour. To find their board, we have to go past this first room where you're going to find a lot of Coco themed things teaching you about Day of the Dead, and we are going to head back into the main area. Once you head inside, you're going to see Cava de la Quila, you're going to see one of the restaurants back there, and the entrance to the Grand Fiesta Tour. But we are going to head over to the right side of this big, huge room towards this gift shop. We're gonna head in here and head towards their cash register to find their pin board. They also got a lot of new cute merch in here. One good rule of thumb, if you are looking for the boards back in the World Showcase, 9 times out of 10, they are at the KidCot location, and it's going to be like right where you do KidCot. This pavilion though, the Mexico Pavilion, is one that you will not find it at the KidCot location. It's going to be back in that gift shop. Now, sometimes at the KidCot location, I have seen those cast members have pin trading pads or lanyards before. Next stop is going to be here in the Norway Pavilion. This is where you're going to find Frozen Ever After, and you can ride that ride. But we are going to head into one of their merchandise locations, and you're actually going to have to pass pretty much all of the pavilion and head towards the back. Right there is where you're going to be able to get on the ride. But we're gonna head over here to this building. We're gonna head inside this building and we're gonna find the Kidcot location. Disney has changed it up on me. It's not at Kidcot anymore. It used to be at a checkout station right beside Kidcot. They've moved it back here. They've moved around a lot of the merch in here. And right over here, by the cash wrap, you'll find the board. Once upon a time, it used to be over here at this cash wrap beside the Kidcot location, but they've moved it on me. They've moved that on me, and I don't know if that's like an official move or maybe just temporary for the day. I haven't been to Epcot in a little bit, so that might actually be the new official place, but just be on the lookout at Kidcot or any of the merchandise stands. That's usually where the board is. Our next stop is going to be here at the China Pavilion, and if you know, you know, the China Pavilion is every pin trader's least favorite board because it is always full of scrappers, but I'm at least going to show you guys where it's at. We're going to head back towards their gift shop and back where Kidcot is because that is where the board is. You're going to pass the Nine Dragons restaurant, and we're just going to keep heading straight back. And we're gonna head into the House of Good Fortune. That is what the gift shop back here is called. And I'm actually gonna head back to this other door because this is where Kidcot is. Now the boards back in the World Showcase, like I said, notoriously have a lot of fake pins and scrappers, but pin traders always make the joke that here at the China Pavilion is the worst. It never has a real pin on it in all of my time of pin trading. And I come to Epcot a lot in the fall when Not So Scary and the Christmas party are going on and I can't go to Magic Kingdom, so I come to Epcot a lot. And I have never found a real pin on that board. Now, when you head through the World Showcase, you're going to find a lot of these little temporary booths, especially during the festivals. They'll be selling festival merch, and a lot of times the cast members have pin trading pads and lanyards. Now we are here at the Germany Pavilion, and we are going to head to the right into one of their merchandise locations. We're going to head in this location and head towards their Kidcot. Now we are here at the Italy Pavilion. They're doing a little bit of construction right now, but the pin board can sometimes be two places here. Sometimes it is in this location, which is like a perfume store and a couple more high-end items. Sometimes it's in there, but most of the time it's going to be over here. And there's a gift shop over there. That's where Kidcot is, and the board is usually at its merchandise location at their checkout. But I usually check both buildings. Well, it wasn't in the first building, so we are going to head into this one. You're going to find a lot of the pavilion specific merch, but then you're also going to find the board. Well, on that board, we found a really cool pin. This is from a pin series from 2019, and it looks like different cassette tapes, and this one's Groot. I literally looked at it, I was like, oh, that has to be fake. But then I noticed the little cutouts, and there's no way a fake pin's gonna have those little cutouts. That is so awesome. We've made it to the America Pavilion, and there is a concert going on for Flower and Garden right now. But we are going to head towards their Kidcot location. They've been switching it around recently. Sometimes it's back here at Kidcot, but it looks like it's not today. It's actually up here. There's a merch stand right here, and the pin board's here. Now, sometimes I see it's here, sometimes at Kidcot. It really just depends. Our next stop is the Japan Pavilion, which I notoriously skip because a lot of times their board has fake pins, but I'm going to show you guys where it is. It is back at Kidcot. So we're just going to head straight back towards that little kawaii sign. We're going to head back there, and the Kidcot location's back there. Back here at Kidcot is where you're going to find their board. Now, just like the board in China, the Japan board is notoriously full of fakes. And pretty much every time I come to Epcot, I skip it just because it's a really long walk back to that board and there's never anything on it. Our next stop is going to be the Morocco Pavilion. Their board has a tendency to be a lot of places. Sometimes it is over here at their Kidcot location. Sometimes it is at their gift shop. And today they just had a cast member standing up front in the front of the pavilion with the pin board. It has a tendency to kind of just be anywhere and everywhere depending on the time of day. Sometimes you'll also find the pin board here at this merchandising location at their checkout. Our next stop is here at France, and we have to head all the way into the back of the France Pavilion to find their board. You're gonna pass Chef de France, and you are going to head back towards the bakery and the only merchandise location that they have that sells the general merch back in France. You're gonna pass all of this, pass Impressions de France, and sometimes the Beauty and the Beast sing-alongs in there. Come back this way. And back towards those windows. We're gonna head inside here. Now, KidCot is in this building, but it is actually not at the KidCot location. It is at the merchandise checkout stand, which when you come right in through those doors, it is directly on the right-hand side. Now we're gonna head towards the UK Pavilion, but before then, there's a little pin trading spot here. The direction you would head towards the Skyliner, and this is right here. They also have a pin board back here, but I don't see anything for me. Now there's usually at least one board back here in the UK Pavilion. You can access it a lot of ways. You can head in towards this sportsman shop, but I usually head in through the door where it says the Crown and Crest, because that's gonna get you closest to the board.
Got a good pitch.
Now, sometimes on the other side here in Fancy Goods, Lord and Ladies, sometimes I find a board in here. This is also where you buy tea, and usually it's at this little checkout location. There wasn't a board in there today. It's really hit and miss, and it's kind of random. Sometimes there's 2 boards, sometimes there's not. I have no idea why, but I always check both locations just in case, just like we do in Italy. Back towards Canada now, but sometimes there is a little merchandise stand here, and sometimes they have a board. Now we've made it into Canada, and we're gonna head up these steps and towards one of their merchandise locations. Right over here is the Northwest Mercantile, and sometimes there's a board in here. Hello, how are you?
Really good, how are you?
Doing good. And on that board, we traded for this Pig in the Mud. It is from the Pirates Ride booster set. Our next stop is going to be at KidCot. Canada actually has 2 boards, and we're gonna head down this way towards Les Celliers, the steak restaurant. We're gonna head back this way to KidCot, because that is where their board's going to be now. A lot of times you do have to ask for it. Our last stop is going to be here at Port of Entry. This is going to be on your right-hand side when you come back into the World of Showcase, like you're going towards Canada. You turn around, Canada's back that way. They did not have their pin trading board, and I've kind of noticed more often than not, even though the little black stand is out, anytime throughout the day, the pin trading board is put away and not there. So I don't know if it's broken or something like that. Sometimes they get broken, sometimes they're getting changed out. So I don't know, but I would always come in here and check just in case. Well, that is going to be the end of our day here at Epcot and all of the pin trading boards. We did 9 pin trades, which honestly is about right for Epcot. If you come and pin trade at Epcot, you'll notice that a lot of the boards have a lot of fakes. It's definitely not my favorite place to pin trade, but it is a very nice park to walk around in, which is why I like to come over here and pin trade quite a bit, even though I don't usually find that much. Now you guys know where every single board is and kind of where cast members have a tendency to be. Now remember, you're always on the lookout. Always on the lookout for those pin trading pads and lanyards, or if random boards pop up. If a ride goes down, you might find a board. You might sometimes find them outside of quick service restaurants on not so busy days. Be on the lookout for janitorial cast members. Be on the lookout for anybody in leadership. So management, a lot of times they have like the garbage picker upper clip things. Be on the lookout for them. Sometimes they have pins on them. So you're just always, no matter what park you're in. Obviously, this is the last park that we've done this sort of video in, but it doesn't matter which park you are in, be on the lookout. You're constantly looking for cast members with pins when pin trading in any of the parks. Now, if you guys liked this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so that you are notified every time I post a new video. And should we continue this series? Should we go to Disney Springs? Should we maybe go to some of the resorts? I don't know, let me know in the comments, guys. But I will see you guys next time because we do a whole lot of pin trading around here.